Ghosts, spirits, poltergeists, demons. Do they exist? Is there life after life? Are there unseen entities around us? Can they communicate? Do you believe? What happens in the shadows doesn't always stay in the shadows. Live from Northwest Georgia, covering the region and beyond, this is Georgia Paranormal Radio. And now, here's your host, Mike Watkins.
Good evening! Welcome to another edition of Georgia Paranormal Radio. This is your host, Mike Watkins, and I am so glad that you've joined us for episode number 12. Hey, if you haven't heard the other 11 episodes before this one, catch up. You can get them on your iPod, or you can download them directly from our site, or listen to them streaming, or however it is you listen to them. But hey, catch up and hear what we've been doing so far. I know also that episode 12 is a little late coming out. As I've said before in previous podcasts, I am not going to waste my time and yours putting out drivel. You know, if there's not something good to talk about, if there's not something interesting that we can do, I'm not going to waste my time and yours and our bandwidth to put out junk. And I really hope and pray that you folks can appreciate that. I know it sounds weird that we don't want to broadcast. It's not that. It's just I don't want to broadcast trash. There are some shows out there, folks, that do broadcast on a daily basis. And, sometimes they don't have the highest quality programming that they possibly could if they were to just take a day or two off. And so that's what we plan to do. You know, I've talked about it before in previous broadcasts that if I don't have something good to say, I'm not going to say it. You know, I hope you can appreciate that. And speaking of something good to say, this week we have got, we're back around to the time of the month where we do Hot Topic Talk. And that's with our special guest, Cindy Westbrooks, the communications manager for the group. So let me go ahead and welcome Cindy to the studio for the night. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you, Mike. How are you?
Well, I'm okay. A little irritated here, a little irritated there, and I'll tell the good folks what about here in a few minutes, but we're going to have some hot topic talk tonight, I think, and I'm going to get my soapbox out. Not too bad. Not going to slander anybody, not going to bash them too bad, but I'm just going to update our loyal listeners as to what's going on, and I guess I can just go ahead and do that now. I do appreciate, let me first say this, I do appreciate everybody who listens. We put this show out to educate and entertain and do a little thought-provoking of the paranormal community. There's an interesting concept, paranormal community. But, so we put this show out for your entertainment, your education, and as an outlet of our group to express our thoughts and our ideas and our findings. It is called Georgia Paranormal Radio, which would lead one to believe that it either originates in Georgia, or is about Georgia, or perhaps a bit of both. I have received a comment from someone who will remain nameless, but it was inappropriate. I do welcome your feedback. Let me say that too also. I do welcome any feedback, but you don't take it personal. You know, you don't put it on that personal level. And there's a better way to constructively criticize someone other than saying, basically, can't you people interview anyone outside of your group, or can't they get through on the dirt roads down there? Not a big fan of that. We may not be highfalutin people living in big metropolis-sized cities, operating pirate radio stations, if they were. Yeah, I'm just, throwing it off the top of my head, if that ever happened. I don't know. I wasn't there. Heard things. But, the point of it is that if you don't like what you're listening to, don't listen to it. And also to the person that actually wrote that, I would be more than happy to have you on the air. And hey, maybe I could interview somebody outside of Georgia for once.
I would love to co-host that show.
Oh, it would be a good show.
I would love to be here for that.
It would be a good show. And I'm not going to butcher the person. He's entitled to his opinion. I support his right to have that opinion. Absolutely. Completely support his right to have that opinion. I, however, do not support his right to be so negative with it. Like I said, there's a good way of doing things and a bad way of doing things.
Right.
And that's not the good way of doing things. The thought comes to my mind that if I couldn't get a guest through on our dirt roads down here, I would just have my blind banjo-picking cousin go out at the corner and meet them there. Okay? I would. If you want to say we're hicks, then there you go. There's your stereotypical hick.
Yeah, but you do not have to be from the South
to
be a hick.
No, there are rednecks everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. I know several Yankee rednecks.
Oh, yeah. From California to Philadelphia.
Absolutely. Oh, I wouldn't have went there with it, but okay. From California to Maine. Yeah, let's not talk about Philadelphia. So anyway, you folks that are loyal listeners, I appreciate it. Our episode count has went through the roof as far as listeners go. This last episode is blowing my socks off. Literally blowing my socks off. Our average listener count is up incredibly high. And I just hope that our loyal listeners really do appreciate the show. I hope you keep listening, and I thank you for listening. And if you know anybody who would make a good guest, maybe you're a paranormal investigator, maybe you run a group, maybe you're a psychic, maybe you're something that's interesting. Maybe it's something unique that you do or feel or believe or whatever, contact me. Hey, there's 2 microphones here.
And more than anything, in the paranormal world or community, whatever
paranormal
we call
community,
ourselves,
yeah,
we catch it enough from everybody else anyway without bashing each other.
Absolutely, and that's what I wanted to talk about tonight. A little hot topic talk is the paranormal community. You have people preaching paranormal community. Well, if we are a paranormal community, folks, then I'm moving out.
Yeah, really.
Because I don't like the neighbors.
So, yeah, some of the neighbors are just not the best.
They don't keep their dogs in their own yard. They throw their trash in my yard, and they want to complain because I have company over and block the driveway. It's that kind of thing. It's that pettiness, that not being satisfied with your own self in the paranormal community that makes me not despise, that's a strong word. I severely dislike the actions of some other people. Berating people by name to make yourself sound bigger and better is not acceptable.
Never.
Discrediting someone's evidence is not acceptable. Now, if somebody has garbage for evidence and it's like a fake, then absolutely, send them an email and say, hey, I believe this picture's fake. Can you explain it to me? Or, hey, I believe this EVP is fake. Can you explain to me why you think it's real or what you did to it? But just flaming somebody, and for those of you people that know chat room talk and all that stuff, flaming somebody without giving them a chance to defend themselves is not acceptable in any community. And, we're the minority here, folks. We are a minority. We are busting our butts to get good evidence out there. And I'm not talking about this group. I'm talking about the paranormal investigators in general. We bust our butts to get our message out there, to get our evidence out there, to get our beliefs out there. And fighting amongst ourselves is getting old, and I am sick of it.
Absolutely.
I am sick of it. And you know what? I haven't fought among ourselves with anybody. We've got several good alliances with a lot of groups. The Ghost Rider investigation team, we've got a good alliance with. West Georgia Paranormal, good alliance with. Georgia Paranormal Investigations. Paranormal Investigations of North Georgia. I can go on and on. We have good teamwork with all those groups. And, you know, the only thing I can say to the paranormal community is grow up or get out. Because I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to play. There's enough out there for everybody. And you're not getting my peace. I'm not getting yours. I don't want your peace. You shouldn't want mine. We should all come at it from a different angle and try to solve this thing together. Like a community, like a family, like a team. And if we can't do that, then I do not want anything to do with you. So that's it. That's my soapbox for the night. And maybe Cindy can get me riled up on another point. But what do you think about that, Cindy? What do you think about the paranormal community? I mean, are we a true community helping each other out? Are we a bunch of backbiting babies?
You know, the only group of people that I've ever known personally that are as vindictive as some of these people seem to be are hunters.
Hunters? Well, ghost hunting, hunters. Okay. I'm not a hunter, so you'll have to elaborate.
Well, I am a deer hunter.
I've never hunted.
Oh.
Hunted for a donut once at like 2 in the morning. I was hungry. My God, I needed a donut bad. But, other than that, crystal. God, I love crystals at 2 o'clock in the morning anyway. But, okay, so back to hunters. I've never hunted, so tell me why they're vindictive.
Well, I'm a big deer hunter.
Yes.
And David and I both hunt.
Yes.
Well, we haven't this year, but usually we do hunt a lot. And when you put your tree stand up, man, that is like a dog peeing on a tree. That is like your territory.
Claiming that ground.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
And everybody else needs to stay away. And hunters will cut each other's throat over going in and shooting a deer, shooting a big buck out of your tree stand.
Oh, yeah, I guess. You know, we've dealt with some people. Everybody knows I work down at a jail in the area here in Northwest Georgia. And, we've dealt with some people that have been turned in by other hunters.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the DNR, Department of Natural Resources, will bring in people that have been turned in by other hunters. So I guess that's true.
Steal your tree stand. Hunters are a vindictive group of people. Almost all the time. And I've never seen that again in any other group of people except some of the websites and some of the things that I've heard, the comments that have been made to me personally.
Well, there is one particular group that I don't care for, and I don't keep that a secret.
Right.
But it's because they backbite first.
Right.
You know, they come at me, or they come at anybody who doesn't agree with them. And I don't roll over and take it. I'm not going to hide in a corner and get put down by somebody who is, at best, my equal.
Something else, we've talked about this a little bit before, but Southern is not synonymous with illiterate.
Oh, I'm well read. I'm quite well read. So,
just being from the South does not make you stupid.
No, Lord, no. There's my mentor when I was a minister was he was from the South, and the man had 2 PhDs. 2 PhDs.
Wow.
He was a genius. The man was a genius. Spoke more languages than I knew existed. Incredible. And he was a country bumpkin.
Right. And by the same token, being from the North does not make you smart.
No.
Doesn't make you any more knowledgeable.
No. I can't understand northern people sometimes. I can't understand people from Florida sometimes.
Well, that's because they're all from the north.
Well,
They
all
moved down
they
there.
retire in Florida. Yeah.
Used to live there. Didn't
In
like
Florida.
it. Didn't like it.
Visited there once. Spent a year there one night.
Yeah. I stayed there, honestly, for a whole year.
Really?
And it was... I'm probably the only female in this country that did not like Florida.
It was okay. I'm a Savannah guy. I like Savannah much
I like
more
the
than
mountains.
I like going out on Tybee and Jekyll and things. But you're not interested in my choice of vacation sites, folks. I apologize for rambling there, but the paranormal community really needs to become a community, or else, the people that are trying to put us down, the people that are trying to stop us, who believe that we're wrong, who believe that we're crazy, the fundamental Christians that believe we're going to burn in hell for what we do, they're not having a hard time picking us apart because we don't stand together.
Exactly.
If we stand together in a united front, then, there's power in numbers.
Right. And when somebody is doing it strictly for the money.
Now here we get into some integrity issues.
Right. And that's when everybody knows you're just here for the money.
For the money.
Science doesn't mean anything. It's all about ratings. That's when the people that are picking us apart are basically right.
Yes, absolutely. Before I say something cute here, let me just say this. www.nwgapit.com. That's the Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team. Is completely free. Completely free. You can crawl all over that site, and it'll never cost you a penny. You can listen to this radio program for free.
You can call us. You can email us.
For free. You can talk on our message boards for free. You can use our chat room for free.
We'll come out and investigate your house.
For free.
For free.
I was looking at a website earlier first when you click on it, first thing you see is what? An advertisement?
And then another one.
Now our message board does have advertisements on it because it's hosted at another company. And they're paranormal related advertisements. This isn't for fungus cream or, start your own job. Go into business for yourself kind of ads. These are things about, hey, this paranormal book might interest you kind of thing.
Right.
But as far as the primary website, I'm not going to charge you $50 a year to look at my website. So, that's where I'm coming at as far as money goes. We want to keep it free. And now that I've said that about everything being free, I'm going to go ahead and play you the sponsor of this show. And we're going to take a little break here, and we'll be back on the other side to have a little more Hot Topic talk right after this. Hey folks, Mike Watkins here. Many of you know me as the host of Georgia Paranormal Radio, but I'm also the founder and general manager of the Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team, which is an anchoring sponsor of this program. The Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team was founded back in 2004 as a scientifically based research and documentation team. This investigative group has over 17 years of combined experience in dealing with the paranormal, and the unique perspectives and specialties that each member investigator contributes really gives you the full package. You can trust the Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team to thoroughly, yet discreetly and confidentially, investigate and document any paranormal phenomenon that you may be experiencing. The Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team serves a large area of North Georgia, North Alabama, and even Southeast Tennessee. As always, their time and services are 100% free of charge. All they ask for is an invitation from you to let them investigate those cold spots, bumps in the night, or anything else paranormal. And contacting them couldn't be any easier either. Just go to www.nwgapit.com and check them out. The Northwest Georgia Paranormal Investigation Team, proudly bringing you Georgia Paranormal Radio and proudly investigating what you fear. All right, I want to thank you for making it through that commercial break. That's going to be the only commercial that you hear in our program, and I'm not going to charge you $50 to hear it. Unless you want to pay me $50, then that's Mike at nwgapit.com.
We do take PayPal.
We do take PayPal. Donations, not mandatory. The interesting thing is, a good point that was made during the break is, the person that was criticizing us is the one who charges you to look at their evidence.
Right.
Is that very community-oriented to charge somebody to look at your website?
Well, certainly not.
I wouldn't think so. It's...
And again, that goes back to, are you here? Are we doing this to make $1? Or are we doing this looking for evidence for the science, the scientific purposes? Are we trying to prove paranormal activity exists?
Right.
Or are we trying to get rich off of the idea?
Well, I'm going to say I'm trying to prove the paranormal exists because if I'm trying to get rich, man, I have failed.
We're failing miserably.
I have failed miserably. Last count, it was about $50 to $60 a month that I'm out of pocket.
Paying out, not getting.
Right, I'm
not
out of
bringing
pocket.
in.
And it's been that way for 3 years, 3 years. This radio program's not helping. I like the program. That's why I'm paying for it. I'm shouldering the cost. But it's not helping, folks. So anybody who wants to pay $50 to listen, just let me know. But other than that, it's free. And, people who live in glass houses probably shouldn't throw stones. And that was the clean version of that statement. By the way, anybody wants to hear the dirty version, email me and I'll send it to you. You probably do want to hear it. It's kind of cute. So anyway, enough of that ranting and raving about one lunatic who's making his own way and trying to rule the world by controlling others. And, I just want to thank everybody for listening. And, we need to have a show that's just me saying thank you for an hour. Because it's impressed the heck out of me. Our listener count has jumped so high. I mean, high by my standards, I thought maybe 25 people would tune in a week.
Right.
And I would gladly do this show for 25 people listening. But when you get up near 270, 300 people for one show so far...
Right. And that's not with only this being the 12th show.
That's, my God. It's far exceeded what I thought. And, wow. Thank you. Again,
and
thank you.
And haven't charged a dime.
Haven't charged a dime, haven't made a dime, don't even care about the money. I honestly don't care about the money. I don't care about any of it. Now, if there's people that want to advertise with us, that's fine. They can pay for the show a little bit. But,
But when you do that, you're getting your own benefits from it.
Right, you're getting your own publicity, you're getting your own airtime within my airtime. And it's only fair that you pay a little bit. And, and that's fine. But, last week's count, or the last episode's count, I should say, when we looked just a little bit ago, was like 263, 264, somewhere around there. That's not bad.
Not at all.
That's not bad. And I appreciate it. Maybe this time next year, when we're talking Christmas 2007, I may be sitting here saying thank you for having 3,000 listeners a week.
That'd be great.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
From a little dirt road in Lafayette,
with
Georgia.
my banjo-picking blind cousin out giving directions. I think I'll have to find the Deliverance music to play in the background.
I think they paved the last couple dirt roads in this county.
And Walker?
In Chattooga County.
I was going to say, Walker County's still got a couple.
Did
They
not pave all of them?
We have the...
They paved the Narrows and they paved Josh Ward.
Did they pave the Narrows Road, really?
Most of it.
But that's, people that don't know where the Narrows Road is, that's where Devil Worshiper Mountain is. Corpsewood Manor is. The Narrows Road has always been kind of an icky, muddy, dirty road.
Right. They just said they didn't pave all of it. I know they paved some more of it.
Right. Well.
And I was told that they had paved Josh Ward Road.
It's a very scenic drive, by the way. If you ever want to go out Narrows
Oh, it's
Road,
beautiful.
you go from Tryon over to through the Narrows up over Taylor's Ridge, aka Devil Worshippers Mountain, Corpsewood Manor, woo. And you come out in our not Armurchie, but Villanelle.
Right.
You come out in Villanelle, which, by the way, for those of you in Georgia and those of you coming to Georgia, whenever you get your 2006-2007 road atlas from the Georgia Department of Transportation, don't be surprised if you can't find Villanelle on the map. Because evidently 500 communities in the state of Georgia are not ink-worthy now. You heard this?
No.
Chattoogaville, down your way, down in Chattooga County, not worthy of ink. It's off the map. It's a waste of ink. Noble, here in Walker County, you know, the site of the big crematory mess?
Yeah.
Gone.
Wow.
Linwood, gone. Cane Creek, gone. Armurchie, gone. All of it's gone.
See, and those are places that, Armurchie, up in that direction, some really good EVPs have come from a cemetery in that area.
Well, according to the state of Georgia, only incorporated cities deserve to be on maps. Yeah. Yeah, write your congressman, write your state representatives, because, you know, people that live out, you know, and I agree, there are some goofy sounding communities that have been on maps. Tidings,
Frogtown.
Dirt, what was it, Dirt Cellar?
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It's still a community, and they need to. You know, a lot of Civil War action happened in those communities.
And these, they're beautiful areas.
Oh, they're
in the
peaceful, and they're good home folks. They're good home folks. But for you people that don't live in an incorporated city in the state of Georgia, you're off the map. You're gone. So, nice knowing you. Don't know where you went to, but it's been nice knowing you.
Well,
So, paranormal integrity. Let's get back to hot topic talk here, Cindy. Paranormal integrity. How easy would it be to put the biggest crock of evidence out there and claim it is real?
Oh. I have seen so many things. I hate to even go there.
Well, don't name any.
I won't.
We're not naming
No.
names. We're going to talk about. We're just going to talk about how easy it would be to fake something.
It's very easy. And that's something that David and I we've done a lot of that.
Intentionally fake
Just
something.
to see, not that we put
Right.
on the website.
Well, I was about to say, disclaimer,
No,
none of the
no.
evidence on the website has been faked. All that is real evidence. It's been screened by me and a priest, a rabbi, and a Buddhist.
Okay.
I don't know where I found the rabbi and the Buddhist.
God, okay.
I have no clue.
Well, if it passes my inspection,
Oh, yeah,
it is pretty darn good.
right.
Because, like I said, David and I have done a lot of experiments with cameras and with the tape recorders
Yes,
just to see what we could do.
yes.
And I have gone on to a lot of websites and seen a lot of so-called evidence that I can look at it and know. I know how they did that.
There's a beautiful program called Photoshop.
You don't even have to use Photoshop.
Oh, that's true. You know, I could do something. I don't use Photoshop. I don't. Any editing that I need to do on a picture can be done in Microsoft Picture It. Basic editing, you know,
With
zoom
nothing
and
but the
cropping.
camera, I can make as many supercharged orbs,
Oh yeah,
streaming orbs, whatever you want to call them, as you want to come up with.
absolutely.
All you need is a light source.
Just a light and a little wiggly camera. Yep.
Turn the flash off,
Take a picture at the dark, pointed towards the light.
and you don't even have to be visibly moving the camera.
Because of the slow shutter speed, it creates a blurry image.
But the thing about it is, we've learned that we can do it, and we can make the light source make huge streamers across
Yes.
the picture,
Yes.
and the rest of the picture is completely in focus.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Which is strange, but yeah.
but like you said, the slow shutter speed, and the camera doesn't have to be moving, but just the teeniest little bit.
Right. I mean, just a fraction of an inch will throw the light source and make a streak.
Right.
And, I'll tell you, and everybody thinks I faked it. We even had a member, had a probationary member, I should say, who we got rid of simply because she clashed with the group. Her attitude was just worse than mine. And that's bad when their attitude is worse than mine. But she tried to disprove a picture that we have on our website. And that's the picture of the well with the portal. I call it a portal. We've experienced another kind of portal at another location. But they tried to disprove this photo. And I wish I was smart enough to fake it. I mean, I'm pretty swift, but I'm not that good.
Well, first of all, the fact that it was a light and there was no light source.
Multiple lights.
Right.
Of different colors.
Exactly.
Kind
of a prism.
On one side, and then there was a streak on the other.
Right.
And inside that prism was a square cutout, like a window. Right. Or some kind of viewing portal. I mean, it's weird. If you haven't looked at the photo, folks, go to www.nwgapit.com, click on photos on the little side navigation menu thingy that I just changed out and made all flashy and snazzy. And, click on there and look at those photos, because that is the freakiest photo I've ever taken. Now, there is one picture on there of an orb. You know why it's on there? Two reasons. Number one, it's my first investigation. The first piece of evidence that I had. Number two, you can clearly see a face in it without even looking at it. Is that matrixing? Maybe. But when you look at it immediately, it's like, oh my God, there's a face looking at me. Within 5 seconds. I don't know. I've showed it to people that don't believe in this, and they're like, who's that?
Wow. But that goes back. All orbs should not be discounted.
Absolutely
not. The fact that it's an orb does not mean that it is fake.
No.
It means it needs to be looked at.
Right.
Very closely. Could be dust, could be pollen, could
Water.
be moisture.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of things.
Yes.
But one thing that I know without a doubt, I have no doubt, nobody in this group has ever intentionally faked anything and tried to pass it off as real.
Never. And if they did, I would throw them out of the group in a heartbeat. If I caught them trying to give me bogus evidence to put out here and show the world, gone. That was a loud snap. Sorry about that. Sorry about that one, folks. They're gone. I'll probably cut that snap out of here. They're gone. Yeah, I didn't mean to deafen you there. But yeah, if somebody starts faking evidence, that's one of the terms of membership in the group, is to not fake evidence. In the bylaws and in the new forms that we actually have people sign now that join.
And that's one of the things, when you talk about ethics, you do have to talk about that. That's one of the things that when somebody does that and word gets out, then the people who don't believe, or people that are on the borderline, that I'm not sure if I believe this or not, and they see something like that, well, from that point on, they're going to think, right, they faked that, so every bit of it.
And again, we go back to the paranormal community here, folks. You people in the paranormal community should get your drawers in a wad about people faking evidence.
Absolutely.
It gives each and every one of us a black eye. If Jimmy Joe Bob down in, Dumpwater, whatever state, fakes a picture, gets it put on the internet, and 10,000 people look at it, knowing, and they know it's fake, it's an obvious hoax, then our credibility just went down by percentage points. You get enough people damaging our credibility, and you know what we have? No credibility.
Right.
And I work hard to maintain credibility. I don't put garbage out. David and I, and you can attest for David, as if he's not in the room here with us to speak for himself, but David gets a lot of evidence. David gets more evidence than I do, and David throws out 90-95% of the evidence he gets.
Yes.
Just because it may make something look incredible. So, credibility is a very important thing. And, that goes again into people that are doing this for money or for science. What are you in it for? Are you here to make a buck? Are you here to get rid of your day job and get you a TV show or a radio show making X amount of dollars a week? Or are you here to help people, including yourself?
Exactly. And that's something David and I were talking about on the way here. My freshman chemistry teacher, Mr. Koppler, bless his heart, I gave that poor man more than one gray hair. He taught me scientific principle.
Okay, yeah.
The whole variables and keeping everything as pure as possible.
Right.
It was the start of a love affair.
Oh, science is grand.
It is wonderful.
Science is grand. And, even in the line of work that I do, I mean, I know I'm no super duper Dick Tracy investigator. And I'm not saying that because David is an investigator, and he's a very good investigator for the city where he lives and works. But, I'm a lowly jailer, but science plays a part in what I do. That's part of the investigative technique, is, eliminating the impossible, finding, probabilities, calculating the variables. And, science is a part of everything.
Oh, yeah.
And investigating the paranormal is a science. Now, you can do it from a religious or metaphysical standpoint, and forget the science, but eventually it's going to come back and bite you in the butt.
You can't forget the science.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to come back and bite you in the butt, because eventually science is going to come knocking on your door. Just like, and let me say this too, just like for you purely scientifical groups, like, sometimes I say we're purely scientific, and yet there's a big honking cross in our logo, because I'm a Christian, not a good one, but I am one, and, but you cannot eliminate the spiritual or metaphysical from it either.
No.
Because it'll come back and bite you in the butt. Because eventually science and metaphysics are going to clash into this world we call paranormal.
Right, well, that's the whole point.
That's it.
Paranormal.
Above normal, unexplainable, and it takes a mixture of faith and science to do what we do. Wow, somebody should make a TV commercial like that.
Yeah.
So, what I'm saying, and the whole point of this whole broadcast has been this, and then I'm going to put this puppy to sleep on this whole subject. The whole point of this broadcast is this, and Cindy, I don't mean to speak for you, but I'm going to. The paranormal community has enough problems without people backbiting and without people doing self-destructive things to the community. And we all need to play nice or not play at all. You either put forth your best effort or you don't come and play the game. You either do the right thing or you don't come out and play. You either do it for the right reasons, including developing yourself, helping other people, or you don't do it. And if you are doing it for negative motives, for money, for gain, for popularity, then, you don't belong in this community.
Right, and that's not to say that it's wrong to make money off of it.
Not at all.
As long as you do maintain the ethics.
Absolutely. But I'll tell you this much too, Cindy. If you don't know me from Joe Blow, I know sometimes you wish you didn't. Like everybody I've ever met. Anyway, if you call me and you say, Mike, I think my house is haunted. So I'll be happy to come out and investigate for you. Give me $250, we'll be out. You pay me the money, $250. I come out and I say, no, your house isn't haunted. Your pipes are leaking. You just paid $250 with an expectation of getting a service to satisfy a problem. And I'm saying, nah, it wasn't nothing at all. I don't feel right. I would not feel right about taking somebody's money for a service based on pseudoscience.
Right, and not only that, well, I just paid you $200. Fix it. Exactly.
Or worse yet, what if there is something there? Well, man, we don't handle removals. We just document them. We can't eliminate a ghost. We can't tell a demon to leave or a ghost to leave. We'll take 100 pictures for you. We'll record 1,000 hours of EVP, but you need to call somebody else to get rid of this thing.
Right.
How can you justify that? You can't. Or then there's the third possibility. Well, she's paid me $250. I better give her a good show.
Right.
And there you go with your credibility down the toilet, because here you go fabricating. So, people that are in this for the wrong reasons,
right.
That's it. I think I said earlier, that I don't want to be a part of the community, and if that's the way the neighborhood is, I'm moving out. Well, that's the chicken's way out.
What we need to do is make the neighbors that are not so good move out.
That's what I'm saying. I'm laying down the law, and I'm laying down a challenge right now that if you're not going to be a good neighbor and a part of our community, then you get out.
Exactly.
Don't even start. If you're not going to play nice, then don't play at all. If you're not part of the problem or you're not part of the solution, you're part of our problem. And you either need to shape up or ship out.
And again, as long as ethics are maintained, we need to stick together.
We'll play nice, we'll play fair.
We need to back each other up.
And I'm not saying now that we have to all agree on everything. Not at all. We just need to agree to be honest.
Right.
If you can agree to be honest, I can agree with you using a psychic. Or you can agree with me not using a psychic. Or you can agree with me liking dowsing rods and you not.
But if I choose not
That's fine.
to do something,
that's fine.
You shouldn't degrade my choice.
Absolutely not.
And I want yours.
Absolutely. Because why? Because we're community.
Right. We're in the same group.
We're on the same side. Oh, you and I argue a lot. You and David argue a lot. You're married.
I argue with everybody.
Well, so do I. I'm a cantankerous old coot, and I'm not even 30 yet. So, I don't know. I'm just... I argue about... I will argue with anybody about anything because I can, and I enjoy it so much. But, again, like I'm saying, and I'm putting this issue to rest, and I'm not going to say any more about it. If you can't be a part of the community, get out, because I'm not going to put up with your crap. Plain and simple. Okay, the last part of the show here, folks, we're going to talk about something that's we've touched on it here and we've touched on it there, and we really haven't went into depth with it, and I've had a chance to play with it some more. This is controversial. Well, I mentioned it a while ago. Just because I like to play with dowsing rods and somebody else don't mean we can't all get along. Some of you folks have never used dowsing rods. Some of you have. Some of you are better with them than I am, I'm sure, because my hands get tired.
They sweat.
They do, and cold. It's December. My hands get cold. Yeah. Dowsing rods. How many of you people out there are using these things? I hope several of you are. If you're not, I hate to say it this way, if you're not using them, you ought to try them. And you don't even have to buy anything. You go to your closet and get you a metal coat hanger and cut you a pair of dowsing rods out of a metal coat hanger and try them out. Now, the problem that we get into, our group does not use Ouija boards. Don't believe in them. Well, I believe in them. I just don't use them. Psychics, hardly ever. Seances, wouldn't touch them with a 10-meter cattle prod. But the argument is this, kind of what we're doing. with these dowsing rods is kind of using them as a Ouija board.
Yeah.
Now, there's different ways of using these dowsing rods, folks. You can use them to point towards whatever you're looking for, as an energy meter, if you will. You know, it points you in the way of the ghost or the spiritual energy or the magnetic disturbance or whatever.
And we've done that.
Absolutely. It works well. Then you get into the other hand, on the other end of the spectrum. And it took me a minute to get used to doing this, is using the dowsing rods to answer yes and no questions.
Right.
That is so Ouija-like, and I don't even want to admit it. That is so very Ouija-like. And what I mean by that is you say cross these to mean yes, spread them apart to mean no, and then you ask your questions, and they answer. It's kind of like moving a planchette around a board, isn't it?
You get an answer.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Do they answer?
Yeah, you get an answer. It may not be an accurate answer. It may be some jerk messing with you. It may
be that you're just crazy.
Well,
no,
we all know that I am. I mean, my bottle of antipsychotics is right over there on the shelf. So
I just got mine refilled.
Well, mine are herbal. Thank God for St. John's wort. But no, you know, that's something that's the big part of the debate, though, is using them like a Ouija board.
Right.
I do. I use them that way.
And
I'm comfortable using them that way. I would not be comfortable using a Ouija board. The second part of it is the person that's holding them somehow controlling them and making them move, or is it the spirit moving them?
See, that's our big argument.
It is. See, I don't know. I'm not as big of a skeptic as you are. You're a skeptic, queen of the skeptics, and I bow before your throne, your majesty. But when I'm using the dowsing rods, I am very skeptical of it. I'm watching my hands constantly because I'm afraid I'm subconsciously moving the things. And
so that is a possibility, but I'm not sure. Like you said, it is, in a lot of ways, very similar to a Ouija.
Yeah.
You're channeling.
Oh, you had to go there.
But that's exactly what you're doing when you use the dowsing rods. So, personally, I think this is a discussion David and I had. Another thing we talked about on the way here.
Boy, that's a long ride.
It is, but we're 30 minutes away. Plenty of time to talk.
I'm telling you.
Is somebody pushing the rods?
Yeah.
And that's what's making them move? Or is it like energy moving through the user?
Yeah.
And I would tend to lean more toward energy moving through the user, the person holding the dowsing rods.
I really would almost agree with you now, Cindy, because of an experience I had the other night. David and I went out to a location, suspected portal. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Not going to tell people where it's at. And got in contact with a person who wanted to talk to us. And it was a very interesting experience, and that person seemed to connect with me. So, I don't know. It was like it was an energy draining thing. It was very interesting, kind of frightening after I thought about it. But, that's what happens sometimes with these dowsing rods. Now, Cindy, you've had some experiences with dowsing rods too. I mean,
yeah, we talked about this before,
yeah.
And it's ever since that incident, it really creeps me out to use them, and it was my own fault.
Yes.
I did it to myself. I asked the stupid question, "Are you an inhuman entity?"
Yeah.
And the answer that I got almost made me pee my pants.
But you felt it whenever it said it too. You could feel the presence of it. I had the incident not too long ago I talked about in the other last program about losing one's composure, losing one's temper. I asked it if it was a male, if it was a female, if it was an inhuman, and then it said it was an inhuman or a demon, and I didn't feel no demon around me.
No.
You can feel those things a mile out. I mean, I can feel an inhuman presence around me. There's been people that have come into the jail that I've thought were possessed. Literally. I mean, people may laugh, but I have just literally felt like they were possessed. The way they snap on and snap off. It's worse than mental illness, But you can usually feel when there's an evil presence around you.
Right.
It's that survival instinct from, either back when we were chasing wild animals.
No, don't go there.
Before fire and living in caves to keep warm, a million years ago. Or, for you theologically inclined people out there, 6,000 years ago. Well, the Earth's only been around 6,000 years,
6,000.
Yeah. Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Yeah. That's what it says. That's what they say. Forget the whole fossil record. Forget the fact that our sun is 4 billion years old.
Who says?
People.
That's no. So no, that's a whole other.
It's
argument.
that'll be a good hot topic for next time.
Yeah, we found a 5 billion year old footprint.
No, it's
How
like
do you know it's
5,000.
5 billion years old? Because it had a 5 billion year old bone beside it. Well, how you know the bone's 5 billion years old? Well, because we found a 5 billion year old footprint beside it.
Circular logic. You gotta love it.
Yeah.
So about dowsing rods, though, and we're going to wrap this up because, Hot Topic Talk tonight has really just been lukewarm topic. Talk. Watkins is tongue-tied. Take 2. Lukewarm topic talk. It's not really been anything controversial. Next show will be. Next show will be controversial.
Actually, David's next EVP special.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I would love. That is one thing that I would love to talk about later, but I have to save it for afterwards.
Oh, off the air, you mean?
No, after his show, we'll have to talk about.
Oh, I got you.
Some of those things.
I see. You want to follow up.
Because we've had some pretty good arguments about it.
You want a
already.
rebuttal time for his airtime.
Not really. Not too. Well, you know how I am.
And yeah, we all do. So, and we love you for it. But anyway, do you have any closing thoughts here? And one thing I will say about dowsing rods, a point that David made, is whether it works by your energy or by spirit's energy or whatever. An interesting experiment would be to drill 2 holes in a board and put them in there, line them up, and then step back and see what happens.
Right.
Ask a question and see what really happens.
And, it'd be great to do it maybe with, like we've done before, a couple people holding them back to back.
Yeah.
And then
the control pair.
In between, have a pair.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens.
Yeah. I'd like to have a couple of cameras there, too. Video cameras.
Right.
Recording every angle.
Right.
It'd be interesting.
It would.
We may do that. We could do that.
Right.
We could post the video. If there's anything interesting, we could post the video on the website.
Yeah.
We could actually do that.
And I'm in charge of making sure that everybody follows scientific technique.
Okay.
That's my job.
And you'll do well, I'm sure.
And you'll scream and yell and be mad.
I do that when I get out of bed.
I bet you'll do it better if I'm in charge.
Okay, Janice, no problem. I mean, Cindy, no problem. Inside joke. Inside joke. So anyway, this has been lukewarm topic talk. It's supposed to be hot topic talk, but hey, I went off on a tangent, folks. For that, I apologize, and let's just all get along. Yeah, that's right. David said that good. Never apologize for integrity. That's a good thing.
And it's an important issue. And
it is an important
because,
issue.
like I said, we have enough enemies without being our own enemy.
Absolutely. Why cut your throat when there's 20 people waiting to do it for you?
Really?
It saves effort to let them.
Yeah. Why would you try to stab each other in the back when there's all kinds of other people standing in line waiting? Like
Absolutely.
You say,
So, that's kind of what we got off on a tangent about. And if it offended somebody, good. Good. If it makes you want to change the way you practice, good. Because if you're guilty of not doing the best that you can, or for being below the board, then it's time to say goodbye. Either shape up or ship out. So, hopefully that's the point that come across tonight. And next episode, we're going to try to have a special guest. I'm talking with her right now. Should be interesting, though. And if we don't, we'll do something kind of special. Christmas is coming up. This next episode will be for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're like, 10 days away? 12 days away from Christmas?
Yeah. Oh,
I'm not a big Christmas person.
Well, you don't have kids.
Thank God. As a matter of fact, the federal government has mandated that I not. They said one Watkins is enough. So, under federal law, I am not to procreate. It's in the Bible too.
Oh, okay.
12th chapter of the book of Ezekiel. That's the book of the Bible I'm writing. Yeah, it says you just shouldn't have no kids. That's what it says, just like that.
Redneck Paul.
It said the Lord said no have no kids. See, so that's what it says. That's right after they're about shoplifting. That's the thing about when people shoplift, you say that's just wrong. Don't do that. See, that's in the Bible. So anyway,
that's one of the 10 Mike commandments, or 12 or 13.
They change daily.
Do they?
Depends on how much medicine I take.
Okay.
I'm really not psychotic, people. I have a government job, which makes me psychotic. So anyway, this has been a kind of just a off the wall discussion. For those of you that are bored out of your mind, I'm sorry for boring you. I'm not sorry for what I said. Sorry for boring you. And next time when Cindy's on, about a month down the road, we're gonna light you on fire. I can feel it coming.
I'm ready.
She's been quiet too long.
Well, I kind of had a phobia about the radio to begin with.
Is that anything like my fear of midget clowns? Or just clowns in general?
I hope not.
I don't know of any midget clowns. Not that there's anything wrong with midget clowns, but I'm scared of clowns, and I just imagine that short clowns would be even scarier.
That's too funny.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Very strange. Afraid of spiders, too. And snakes.
I'm not afraid of snakes.
I'm scared of heights, too. Now, I believe what the Bible says about heights, what Christ said. Now, this is in the Bible. Jesus said, he said, and lo, I am with you always. Now, it don't say nothing about being up high. So I believe what the Bible says about that. I'm a good Christian when it comes to that. I listen to that. And lo, I am with you always. See? When you get up high, he can't get to you as easy. So, doesn't say he's there always. And lo. Yeah, I'm going to burn for that one, folks. So anyway, enough of our phobias, enough of my silliness. Hope you've enjoyed this program. If not, I hope you don't shoot at me or anything. Keep listening. It's only going to get better. It's a learning process. Doing the best we can with what we got where we are.
But if you're bored, send us an email and tell us what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, just don't make it like personally insulting, because that really chaps my hide. I don't like the whole personal insults.
Well, as long as it's an email, a personal, private email, send what you want to. I don't care.
Actually, that's a valid point. As long as it's not
right
on the message board or on the comment section.
Don't put something public that is personal. If you have something personal to say it personally. That's what the private emails are for.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah.
So, and I couldn't care less. Send me something as ugly as you want it to be. I'll reply as ugly as you want me to reply.
She will. That's true. It's scary, folks, but it's true. So,
I mean, I really have to work to not say some things.
so do I. I have a potty mouth.
Out
You
loud.
folks just don't know the thoughts that run through my mind, and I'm not proud of the fact that I can, put a sailor to shame. But
Well, it's not just with that. It's just I can say it without saying a single ugly word.
Well, yeah, I can too. I mean, one of my favorite people to insult, and I did such a good job of it.
Besides me,
Oh no, this was a bad person. I'm not going to say his name on the air. He wouldn't listen anyway. You know who I'm talking about, though.
yeah, I do now.
It's the Otis of a certain town, Otis Campbell. But I used so many 12 and 14 letter words on him one day that the smoke started coming out of his ears. Didn't use a single cuss word. But my favorite word is asinine. I love using the word asinine because there are so many asinine things in here, in the world. Beyond stupid.
Yes.
There are so many asinine people and things in the world. That's my favorite word. Asinine.
I like atrocious.
Ooh, atrocious is a good one. That is a good word. We just went off on another tangent, didn't we? Wow. That was asinine and atrocious.
Yes, it was.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, and I guess we'll go ahead and bid y'all a good night. And stay tuned for next week's episode. It'll be episode 13. Ooh, 13. Whoopty frickin' do.
And it's Christmas.
And it's Christmas, too. If you suffer from triskaidekaphobia,
Oh, my Lord.
triskaidekaphobia, you will not listen to next show. That's the fear of the number 13. Triskaidekaphobia. Big word.
Okay.
So, hopefully you're not a triskaidekaphobic person, and we'll have you here next show. And Cindy, I thank you for joining me. I thank you for keeping me company tonight on the microphone.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Next show hopefully will be pretty special. Good call-in interview with somebody, I hope. If not, we'll sit back and lounge and figure out something to do for you. And then at the end of the month, episode number 14 is going to be our EVP special with David Westbrooks. And hey, by then it'll be time for a new year. 2007.
Wow.
Coming up on it.
Unbelievable.
Getting old fast. Not good.
No, it's great.
Well, it's great that I'm alive, but it's just time's flying past so quickly. And, keep a watch on your solar flares and your magnetic fields, folks, because the last week or two, they have been incredible. And you'll get some incredible evidence with that elevated solar flare and geomagnetic field activity. You can find that on our website, too. Just go into the weather station part there. And any comments, feedback, anything like that, you can get me at Mike, M-I-K-E, at nwgapit.com. And I guess we'll go ahead and wrap up for the night. And this has been Mike Watkins, your host for Georgia Paranormal Radio. We're going to leave you tonight with a little music by Devin Anderson. And if you're going to go out and investigate anytime here in the next few days or next week or so, bundle up, stay warm, and be careful. Take that extra couple of seconds and do things right. Be careful. Be safe. I know your friends and family will appreciate it. You'll appreciate it for coming back home. And I will, because you'll be listening next time. Have a good night.
underground.